Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Let me know when you can hear me. And we'll start. Just waiting for people to join in on Twitch, then we can begin. This is Shogi Unplugged game review. We're reviewing the game without the use of an engine. This game was played just now between one of my students and someone else on the Discord server. I don't know if they've... So this game was... Okay. I'm probably going to skip to the opening because there's more middle and end game stuff that I want to go over. I'll just briefly make some mention. Still hasn't told me if he's on. Can you hear me? Okay, well, since it's taking a while, I'll just begin, and if they want, they can watch the video on demand. Yeah. Okay. Okay, when the silver moves like this, usually what you want to do is push the pawn here. Let me mute that. The reason why is a lot of times the silver wants to go here to attack this pawn, and then if you're not super cautious or afraid of the attack, you see doing something like that would be kind of scary because there's Aji on the long diagonal. So because you probably won't defend this pawn directly, what you can do is go for your own counterattack. So you do it like this, and then rook over, and he's going to take this guy. If here, he grabs like this, and next you can do this and trap the silver. If here, you can do like this. You just want a knight. Okay, so this is one easy counter against this kind of attack by fourth file rook. Most of the time they leave the silver here and they'll play a pawn move like that. But that's about all I want to say about this opening. So let's go on. Okay. Yeah, looks a little premature. If he didn't want to give up a pawn, I guess one of the things that he could have tried was this, or and moving up like this. But I have to admit that black's setup looks kind of a little strange because of this silver here. Usually you'd want it here in this sort of setup with a vanguard pawn on fifth file. Also, well, white might do this, anticipating this move because of this, and he trades off his rook pawn. So this probably isn't ideal. Okay, so yeah, the silver is already a little strangely placed. So again, he should have just done that. Okay. You notice that this silver blocks the bishop's diagonal. Usually you want to keep it open in this kind of position. Okay. Alright, now this move was a little bit too forceful, and it should have ended up ricocheting in black's face. Probably what he was planning on doing was maybe something like this, I imagine, or maybe like this. But again, black is down to silver, and this can't turn out well for him. But instead of that, what he could do is just grab the silver this way. It doesn't matter that the rook is being exchanged for the bishop. The reason why is after this, you notice the bishop works very well on that long diagonal. Let's see. If he does a move like this, then oh, what can he do? This looks reasonable, threatening that. If here, maybe you can just do this, defending the bishop and attacking the rook. If then he does this, maybe he can just go on and start attacking the head of the knight. You notice that white's putting a lot of pressure on the king's head. So of course if takes, then he's just going to drop a pawn here and bust through here. And if he doesn't do anything, he's going to take this at the next move. So this definitely looks like it's better for white. Okay. Yeah, I don't know a good way for him to defend this. If he does like this, you know, aside from a move like this, you notice each time he drops the bishop, he gains tempo here, and he, well, putting pressure here, so he's attacking both sides of the board. Yeah. I guess you could still do this. Yeah, but it doesn't look very good. Takes. I don't know if you could even do this. This may not work. Let's just look at it. You notice he threatens mate here. So he's probably gonna do something like, I don't know, this. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, then it might be a little bit. Yeah, maybe not enough behind it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe this. Aside from pushing here, he might even have ideas like this. So this move has very good Aji. A move like this would be very slow. White would just ignore it. Because it take, that's one move, then two, then three, then four. That's 4 moves to do that. That's just way too slow. Whereas this one goes 1, 2. If here, he just ignores it and pushes again. If here, can you just do this? If here, he's gonna attack the knight that way. Maybe he can take here. If takes, then there's this check fork. So if he moves back, he probably doesn't want to go on the long diagonal because of checks. So he's probably going to pull back here or here. And now there's different moves. One is this. Aside from this, you also threaten things like that. You also threaten this. So yeah, this actually looks pretty good for white. Okay, let's go back. Well, aside from that, I guess another thing you can do is this. Like that. I don't know. And you have this one again. Threatening that and that. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of pressure along the diagonal and right in front of the king. That's why, aside from that, white is up a silver, so there's no reason to fear the exchange of the bishop for the rook. Okay, so that was the first one. Okay, and here, maybe you should just do this. That way, if he takes, then it ends up in a similar situation to the previous ones that we looked at. You're just calmly defending the rook. Because after this, you notice he can take the lance. So this isn't as good. And then now he threatens to drop the pawn here and win the rook. Okay. Yeah, this is just a mistake. No reason to give up the silver. You should probably just do this. Forking here and here. Okay. Yeah, this is just lost a rook. Okay. Okay, so this move he's hoping for this, I guess. And then grabbing the rook. But of course, black doesn't need to take it. So it's kind of a trappy move. But at this point, since white's completely lost, you can probably expect that kind of move to be played. Otherwise, maybe just resign. Okay. So here, maybe instead of that, what's a lot faster is if you drop a pawn here. If the gold runs here, you can maybe drop like a silver here, or even a lance might work because of this. If king takes, then could you just do that? Yeah, you know, this is probably still winning, but you want to find something a little more. Maybe you can just do that. And then maybe this. Okay, and then or if you really want to, now you can take this. Check knight up here. Okay, you notice that black's king is completely safe now. So you could probably just sack the rook. Like that. And drop the silver here. That's a threat mate. With this next. This is going to be very difficult for white to defend because he has no golds in hand. So let's say he does something like this, because if he drops it here, you don't even need to drop like this. You can drop it here. Aside from this, you still threaten mate this way. So you don't want the rook to become a target, so you probably drop it like here or here. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. And then now, so you could do this, renewing this threat. I don't think he can defend now. If he drops like this, probably do like this, and then do this threat mate again. And now there's no way to defend against it. Next, he's going to take here. If he runs, then there's this. So if he defends the rook again, and let's see, he can drop the rook here. Takes, and then mate that. Okay. Notice that even though he sacked the rook, Black's king is completely safe. There's no meaningful way to get his king. That's why he can sacrifice in this manner. You notice that he still has a solid castle position, whereas White's king, is completely bare, and there's two attackers, and Black also has 3 generals in hand, so that spells complete win for winning position for Black. Okay, so you don't have to be. You have to remember, you don't have to always worry about forks like this. You have to look at the resulting position. Okay, let's go back. But there's probably nothing wrong with this one. I mean, it does allow that silver to live. One thing you could try is this. If the silver takes, then he drops the knight here, and silver moves away. Let's see. Here he can. Well, yeah, there's probably something better than that. I guess you could do this. Because of this, then he's going to drop a pawn here. If here, he's just going to take it because the gold is pinned. So probably what he's going to do is that. Then can you just do this? You know, well, actually, I don't know if you might be able to take there too. No, let's see. Here, takes, and probably pawn drop there. Yeah, it looks like this is going to win for Black. If here he can just, I guess, do that. Just piling up on there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, but probably this is okay too. Did that. Okay. So he's allowing the rook to be taken, but he's dropping a silver, so he no longer has it to attack with. So probably a better move might be this. And if he drops the lance here, maybe he can just do this, or even here. Because if takes, he's going to grab here. If he drops here again, I think he can do this non-promotion and win. If here, he's just going to grab here, and then there's going to be a mate in a few moves. If here, he just drops the silver here, and there's going to be mate. So the king would have to go up. And then, let's see. And he drops silver here. Wait, excuse me. Be a little bit careful. No, he just takes here. Silver here. King here. Because if this, then he's just, I guess he can, takes. Wait. Right, go here. If here, then here. If here, then this. So the king would have to go here. Then you drop silver here. King goes here. Okay. Then let's see. I guess you can take here. If here, then here. So king takes here. Do this check. It's probably going to block like that. And then mate like that. Okay. So he's probably going to take here. Takes. Check. He's going to have to interpose. Let's see. You know, I think I'm probably missing something really easy. I almost feel like I'm missing something really easy. Uh, let me go back a couple moves. Right. Let's see. What about this? King ups, and then this check. He's going to interpose that way. Check, check. No, he's going to get up that way. Oh, give me a sec. Give me a sec. Hmm. Oh, what about here? And he's going to have to take, because if this, then he's going to get mated that way. Okay, so he has to take, and then take back with check. He's going to have to take that again, and then yeah, this is easy. I don't know why it took me so long to find it. Like that. Okay. And of course, if here he grabs this, you can do that, threatening this. If here, then you drop the pawn like that. If check, you run the king down. Yeah, black is going to win this attacking race. See, it's going to take two moves to get the checks in, whereas it's going to take 1, 2. He's going to go up here, and then he's going to have to do some other move, but then he doesn't have follow-ups. Okay. Yeah, so dropping the silver was kind of a waste. He should have just used the knight. And now he does this. Another way he could have attacked was dropping the pawn here. That's very severe. If king takes, then you can drop a pawn here. If the silver takes, then again you can just drop a pawn. Then he loses the gold because of this. And if here or here, he can just grab the gold. So that means after this, if here, he's going to drop the gold like that, and he's going to end up winning the gold because of this. If here, he can do that. Oh, let me give this guy a greeting. So that means that he's, after this, most likely he's gonna grab with the horse. And then now you can make use of this silver here by doing that. And then you threaten to take. If here, then you can do this. And then if silver back, then we get that similar variation to before. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Let's see, if he tries to attack the king, you notice that he's going to start running here, and the king's actually pretty safe here. If check here, the king just runs up. So if he does that, then this is going to be mate. Okay. So you mustn't forget that you can use the pawns on the 6th file for attacking like this. Yeah, very severe move. Okay, and here, grab like that. Instead of that, you know, it's probably okay. Yeah. Maybe here you could, yeah. Actually, here you could have grabbed here. Yeah, I don't know. Rather not take a step back, but sometimes you have to. One of the things that when you're doing an attack is you never want to retreat in attacking pieces unless you absolutely have to. I said that hundreds of times, and it's no different here. There's probably a way. Okay, well, let's just look at what happened in the game. You know, even now, something like this might still work. Like that. So yeah, this might be it. But it looks like white's going to probably be able to nebari a little bit more. Okay. So here, probably he should have maybe done like this. Because if here, you can do it like that. So at this point, instead of this move, move that kind of makes sense is either dropping the pawn here, or maybe just doing this immediately. You threaten here. If he defends like this, you could probably maybe just promote like this, and then threaten to drop here. If here, he could probably just grab like that. Okay. Yeah, but this allows a use because if here he doesn't even need to drop the gold. He could probably just do that. Yeah, because there's let's see. Nope, excuse me. He's going to drop it here. No, he's going to have to run the king there. This is going to be bad. So that. Yeah, this White's king isn't in Sumero yet. So this will be mate next. So check, king up, and he's going to threaten mate here. So White is going to have to do something about it. I mean, Black's going to have to do something about that. Maybe he can just do this and make some running space for the king. So, yeah, this isn't completely clear to me. Maybe he'll just do this though. Yeah, you can tell that things haven't gone as well for Black as it should have. But I think the easier one would be here. Check, and then king can probably just run up. If there's some type of check like this, he's just going to block like that. So, and then this is going to come in next. But he might do this. This is threat mate. Okay, let's go back a couple moves. Maybe he has to just do this. But then here. So that didn't help much. Yeah, this is actually a worse variation. Okay. Yeah, maybe just that. Then he could do it. If he does that, then there's going to be this check, and then the silver is going to drop. So it's no good. So he'd have to drop maybe like a gold, like this. He's gonna have to be careful though, because if black gets a diagonal piece in hand, there's gonna be a check on 7-1 after the pawn promotes. So again, this isn't completely clear to me. Of course, unclear positions is what white wants. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe you can just do that. Yeah. This is looking worse and worse for black. Okay. Okay, now last moves were like this. Because if takes, then there's mate that way. And if he runs up here, it's going to check like this. If pawn up, then there's mate like that. So he would have to drop the gold. And then now, let's check. If pawn takes, gold here. King takes, and then there's lance drop here. Well, actually, wait. Check, check. No, he can just do this. Enter position and then mate that way. And then there's one. So that means he had to run here. And now there's no mate. Check and the king runs up. Yeah. Safe for the time being. If he tries this again, it's not gonna work. Because black gets in his checks first. He's gonna have to interpose and check here. If the king runs here, oh wait, yeah, actually he does get out. Wait, no. He's gonna run here, yeah. Yeah, he does not want to take that. Well, maybe he can. Yeah. Yeah, he could take it. What about this check? King could run here. Yeah, he's getting out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually lost for black. Yeah, just do that. Black is going to have to drop something to defend. Immediate threat for white is this. Yeah, so I guess this is just going to win for white. Yeah, black gave up way too much material when he was attacking. It's very difficult to attack when your own king isn't in a safe position, because then you have to worry about the counterattack. So yeah, so one of the features about that was the silver here, which really shouldn't have been an issue, but it was because of the moves that black followed up with. His you know, he started to shed material, um, and also uh, you know, didn't follow up. uh, he was a little bit too reckless with the follow-up. So like this. You notice with continuations like this that black isn't giving up a whole lot of material. That one he just gave up a rook, but he retained the silver in hand, so he still maintains pressure against the king. Okay. And even this, he didn't need to give up the lance like that. Uh, yeah, maybe he could have just done that. Okay. Well, anyway, did you have any questions? Glad you found that mate at the end. Does anyone have any questions? If not, I'll close here. Okay. If there was any, what do you mean by that? Not quite sure what you're asking. You notice that we're dealing in very specific variations, so in that kind of situation, a proverb isn't going to help you. You actually have to do calculations to see what's going on. The only sort of general bit of advice is when you're attacking and you have a very large advantage, you don't want to mess it up by playing risky moves. You want to make it as clear as possible. And in this case, Black made his task increasingly complex, and complexity helps the disadvantaged side because there's more chance to mess up. So that's about as general as I can get. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a lot. You know, when you get stronger and you're calculating, I mean, you're going to realize that shogi is a game of intense calculation, especially when things get kind of close. And all these proverbs that you might have heard when you're starting out, it just goes out right out the window. They're completely useless. It's best that you kind of get used to that at an early stage in your shogi. That way you won't, you know, hopefully uh, you'll start practicing calculation and you won't get lazy. Because laziness will, and sort of, I guess, the fear of calculating variations will a lot of times lead you to playing really passive positions, and then you're it might be too late to fight your way out. So it's best to not shy away from uh, taking the time to calculate stuff out. There's a sort of the I guess the pain that you experience, when if you can even call it that, or the trouble that you go through to do some minor calculations can save you a lot of trouble later on in the game. So yeah, you should get used to that. Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining me today. If you learned from this stream and you'd like to support it, please consider making a donation by clicking the blue ghost on the bottom of the screen. If you have any questions or comments, you may reach me at alexi2539@gmail.com. And I'm also available for private lessons. You can contact me at that email address. Okay, thanks again. Bye.